Hello, and thank you for joining today's session where I'll be going over how we can enhance our content scanning engine performance by adding more worker threads to the Clearswift Secure ICAP gateway. I am Scott Messick, a solutions engineer covering a couple of different brands within Fortra. I work on our file transfer solutions, our content scanning engine for our file transfer solutions, as well as our email security solutions. Very high level, a little bit more about Fortra. I'll start by saying most of these solutions that you see here on this screen are typically to bolster the feature set and the capabilities of the products within another solution. So as an example, today we'll talk about the ICAP gateway, which was by virtue of an acquisition of Clearswift that hooks into our file transfer platform, GoAnywhere. So now the developers are working together to ensure that the integration works very well, and they've added some additional features and functionality like the global antivirus scanning and so on and so forth. So essentially, these solutions are typically they're acquisitions of small organizations, and then we hook the solutions together. We use this, we share the engines. Now we've got a centralized, consolidated version of, for instance, a threat brain, as we'll refer to it, where we've got different threat feeds from different solutions that are kind of merged together. Our ICAP gateway works with not only GoAnywhere, with our other file transfer solution, GlobalScape, and other web apps that support the ICAP protocol. As you can see here, we've also got solutions in the user awareness space, file integrity management or system change management, pen testing, vulnerability scanning, so on and so forth. So any questions about any of these solutions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Today, again, we'll focus on the content scanning engine for GoAnywhere or other file transfer solutions or web applications that support ICAP. Out of the box, as you can see, bottom right, that proxy-template.xml. There's the path to the file. Here is a sample of the configuration. Out of the box, it supports 4 worker threads. So essentially what that means is a maximum of 4 individual files can be scanned at any given time. We can modify that system configuration file to, and in this example here, you can see we move up to 16. I'll work up to 8 during this presentation, but you can go beyond that. It really depends upon what your requirements are. So what you gain out of this is the ability to move away from the default ability to scan 4 individual files at a time. The rest are typically put in a queue. Now we can increase that in scenarios where you may have more than 4 files at any given instance that need to be scanned, and you're trying to optimize your system performance. And so therefore, maybe some delays are experienced when you're using a default configuration. So this is the problem that we're solving by modifying this configuration file. We've also done a load simulation for a couple of our file transfer solutions, GlobalScape as well as GoAnywhere. You can see the configuration we use, the types of files, the number of files, the system processor memory utilization, specifications. So you can see here we used a single gateway, 3 MFT servers, 2 ICAP gateways, and the base ICAP engine, which supports up to 4 threads. A little bit more about the files, number of files that we copied. You've also got processor and memory utilization in play here, which can also be modified. But as you can see within our testing, nothing abnormal here. The CPU utilization spikes up a little bit from 60 to 80%. 60 to 80 is during the file transfer itself when we transfer large amounts of files or large complex files. And then the memory utilization, you can see occasionally spikes up above 80%. But this system seems to be in line that we used for our stress test. This was 2 sets of 400 files. And then we've got 10 sets of 400 files. So we just basically threw some more content at the system. So you can see it's still about inline process utilization, memory utilization as the smaller test. It just takes a little bit longer for everything to get processed. So you can modify those configurations as well, but anytime you're dealing with large batches of files, typically that can only take you so far. Then we need to modify this thread configuration. So over to my ICAP gateway, I'm going to show you what that configuration file looks like. That's this proxy template configuration. As you can see here, I've just reset mine to 1, just basically, so I'll get a maximum of 4 files that are coming through the system at any given time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my stress test tool that I used. We also have that documented. If you have any questions or you would like to see that, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we can certainly pass those details along. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run this test again. It's just a script that connects via SFTP. And to do is eventually I'm going to see those files start to work their way through the system. I could see my CPU utilization start to tick up a little bit. Looks like the system wants to use 2 threads for the time being. So what we're going to do is once this completes, we're going to modify that configuration file. We're going to reset it to 16 threads. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply the ICAP gateway configuration. And then we're going to recycle the ICAP service in order for the changes to take effect. And then we're going to rerun this test here shortly.